Here with the WBA welterweight champion of the world, Yordenis Ugas. Felicidades, Yordenis, on getting the key to the city. This has to be a huge honor for you. How excited were you when you got the news that this was going to happen?
¿Qué tan emocionado estuviste cuando recibiste la noticia de que esto iba a suceder?
Muy emocionado de recibir la llave que me acogió a mí, que le ha dado libertad y derecho a nosotros los cubanos, y bien orgulloso.
I was so excited and so moved by the honor, and it's the fact that I get this key for having represented Cubans and their fight for freedom that means the most to me.
Yordenis, was it ever hard during training camp, knowing what was going on in Cuba? I mean, you had people in the streets of Miami, trying to bring awareness about what was going on at the time. Was it ever hard for you during camp in this fight, focusing on the fight?
¿Te costó el estar entrenando mientras sabías que todo este lío estaba sucediendo y de que además estaban todos los cubanos protestando en Miami mientras vos estabas preparando para la pelea?
Sí, algo que pensaba todos los días en eso. Pude ir a Washington a protestar, pude estar en alguna protesta, porque la libertad de mi país y mi país importa mucho, y pude estar en algunas manifestaciones en eso.
It was absolutely on top of mind every single day. It wasn't a distraction, but it was something that I was truly aware of. I was able to go to Washington, D.C. and join the protests. At one point, I was able to join some of the movement that happened, and it meant a lot to me to be able to do that. It wasn't a distraction to the fight, it was something that motivated me even more.
Can you tell me a little bit about putting Patria Vida on your trunks? When did you make that decision, and just the feedback that you got from it when you sent that message to everybody after your victory against Manny Pacquiao?
¿Cuándo decidiste que ibas a poner Patria y Vida en tus shorts? ¿Y qué te dijo la gente después de ver que hiciste eso?
Como cubanos orgullosos, todos los cubanos que queremos un mejor país estábamos orgullosos. Y sí, esa canción nos ha unido mucho a los cubanos. Cubanos decimos Patria y Vida, nos han unido mucho y siempre supe que lo iba a poner en el short desde que esa canción salió.
It's a message, a song that unifies us all, and every Cuban that wants a better future for our country was proud of me for having done that. It's something that unifies us, and I was able to show the world what means a lot to Cuba with that message, Patria y Vida, which means country and life.
How does it compare getting a key to your city of Miami now to winning a championship? Is there a comparable feeling about how much joy you get for either one?
¿Qué significa para la ciudad de Miami y para Cuba el que hayas ganado este campeonato? ¿Sentís que eleva todavía más el significado de este logro?
Sí, eleva mucho el boxeo cubano y también mi plataforma, ya se dio, mi plataforma creció. Mi mensaje se escucha más alto, mi mensaje de libertad, de Patria de Vida se escuchó lo más alto posible.
The most important thing about this championship is that my platform grew and that my message is going to get heard louder and bigger than ever. Patria y Vida, country and life, and the freedom of my people is what matters to me the most. And that's why this key to the city is also an accomplishment that I'm really proud of.
Final one. Obviously, after you get a win like this, you get a lot of status. It means a lot to your boxing career. If you had the choice, no politics in boxing, who do you want next? Do you want a Pacquiao rematch? Do you want Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford? If you could just make it happen through a boxing, through whatever you want, which fight would you want next?
Olvídate de la política del boxeo. Si podés decir, apuntás a uno y le decís, te quiero a vos la próxima. ¿A quién querés? ¿Pacquiao, Spence, Thurman o otro?
Bueno, puede ser Pacquiao o Spence. Son dos peleadores. Pacquiao, una leyenda, darle la revancha. O Spence, que tiene 2 campeonatos, 2 peleas buenas.
Bring Pacquiao or Spence, either one. Pacquiao is a legend. He has earned the right to have a rematch. If he wants it, it's there. If not, give me Spence, because he has 2 belts. And, why not? Let's go for all 3.
Thank you for the time, Yordenis. Gracias. Appreciate it.
Was that what he's wearing there makes him the world champion in boxing in his weight class in the world, and it's something that he'll always have. But what he did after he won, which is to highlight the oppression and the suffering and the misery and the lack of freedom in Cuba, is something that will make him a champion forever. And giving him the key to the city is giving him the key to our hearts, to our souls, and we're so grateful on behalf of our residents and on behalf of Cubans, Nicaraguans, Venezuelans, and all oppressed people in the world, that you would take that opportunity when the focus is on you, when you could have talked about yourself and when you could have talked about all the things that you've accomplished, instead to use that moment to focus on the suffering and the need for other people. It's extraordinary, and it's going to make you a champion for life, and That's why I give you the keys to the city.
All right.
Guys. What's interesting is that for a fighter like him who has to focus on his opponent and performing at a high level, to carry the weight of the cause of the people of his country of birth puts even more pressure on him. So it's interesting. He's actually fighting with more pressure as a public official who has the weight of 500,000 souls, understands that, you know, you don't just get up and do a normal job. It's not about running $1 billion company. It's about running a company that impacts the lives of tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands or millions of people. And so he could have used that platform to talk about himself, and instead he highlighted the oppression and the brutal dictatorship in Cuba, and that's something that we have to be eternally grateful for, because those are brief moments. The cameras are here now and they're gone in 5 minutes and you guys are off to the next story. But he used that platform to talk about Cuba, and for that we will be eternally grateful.
What did it mean to you when you personally saw him have that moment, what that representation meant to you?
It was, for me, it was a moment of sheer appreciation, of pride. I was proud of him for doing that. And like he said, you know, oftentimes you don't see athletes, you know, step outside of their comfort zone and talk about things that for some people are uncomfortable, you know, and he did that. And he said that for him, he's more, in that sense, an activist than he is a fighter. And I think that's really impressive. And for me, I knew at that moment I had to invite him and give him the key to the city. He earned it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know. But you gotta hold it because no, eso pesa.
Placer.
No, right.
Con honor.
Placer es mío. El placer es mío.